Hey everybody, this is the Facebook Ads with a Twang podcast, and I'm your host, Ben Blackman. Today, we're talking about how to keep your Facebook ads account from getting banned. Here comes episode 25. Facebook Ads with a Twang is dedicated to taking the often overcomplicated process of creating simple, successful Facebook ads, breaking them down step by step in less than 10 minutes at a time. Let's get started. Okay, so I tried to make that sound really compelling, really exciting, something, cliffhanger, I don't know, but it didn't seem to work out. We are talking about how to keep your Facebook ads from not only out of the doghouse, but from keeping them from getting banned, period, because that's the last thing that you want. Once they get banned, it is hard to get reinstated, and often you have little, if any, recourse. And one of the worst things is that they're very vague about why they banned it. It's just violation of policy guidelines or something like that. So we just don't want to get there. The other thing is that it doesn't matter what you see your competitors doing. Like, you can't go back to Facebook and say, oh, well, such and such is doing it, or such and such. I mean, it's just like my kids. My son Jace, he'll say, well, Evan did it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he did it. You can't do it. You can't do it either. And if I see him do it, he's going to get in trouble too. Same thing. So it doesn't really matter what your competitor's doing. Don't rely on that. Rely on what you know. So first thing you want to do is realize that it is not a level playing field. I have some clients who have humongous budgets, okay, and they get away with stuff that people with smaller budgets just don't. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's gonna be. It's the way it is off every ad network. If you're spending $5 a day versus $50,000 a day, it's not the same thing, and it's not the same thing to them. So it's their field. I mean, we're just playing on it. So we just have to do the best that we can with what we have. So just try not to compare, and try not to think that just because somebody else is doing it, that makes it okay. It might be okay, but you don't know that later on that their account might get banned for that same ad. Just because you see an ad running, or even if your own ad is running and it got approved, it doesn't mean they can't come back and then disapprove it and then turn around and deactivate your account. I've seen it happen more times than once. So what we want to do is we want to follow the rules. We don't want to just try to apply common sense. Common sense has a place here, but if that's what you're going by, you may be disappointed later on. So I'm going to put a link to the rules in the show notes, which, as you know, should be onefocusmarketing.com. So that's ONE, focusmarketing.com/ episode 25, and that's one word, episode 25. And so, if you go there, I'll have a link to the rules. But I want to caution you to not fly close to the sun. Okay, don't test the edge. Just stay away from it. All right, you don't need it anyway. But here's a couple of things that'll really help you keep your account from getting banned. First of all, don't do any before or after images. I mean, it says that in the rules, yet I see images or ads with it all the time. And it can be very simple before and after things that you think wouldn't be a big deal. Doesn't matter whether you think it would be a big deal or not. That's what I mean from a common sense standpoint. Let's just pretend like none of them are okay and just don't do it. The other big thing, and this is huge really, is do not imply somebody will get a specific result. And one way you can do that is by avoiding using the word you. What I mean is if you ever see an ad that says, you'll make $100,000 in 6 days, no. It's not that it's just a grandiose kind of, statement. It's that Facebook is concerned that if they don't get that result, that somehow those people can come back and sue Facebook. So you don't want to give them cause for alarm. Don't imply that. Now, you can tell a story about somebody who did make $100,000 in 6 days. Okay, you can tell that story about one of your clients or customers or something like that, but don't say that, point somebody out and say you will make it. That you can't do that. Now, a couple other things. Let's talk about your landing page. So the page that people go to once they click on your ad. there's some things on it which it doesn't specifically say this, well, all this stuff everywhere in Facebook, but I promise you sooner or later it will. But you need to have terms of service on your pages, all your landing pages, anywhere you're sending your traffic to, and you need to have a privacy policy, not a generic one. All right? You can't just copy and paste one. Yes, I've done that. I know people have done that, but you don't want to have a generic one. Okay, you need to have one that addresses tracking, specifically remarketing and retargeting. And if you have to pay to get it, it is worth it. Okay, you're required to do that. So go ahead and make sure you have that set up. So because what will happen is Facebook will, when they go to review your ads, if they start doing any research on you, they're going to look at a couple of things. One, they're going to go to your landing page and see if it meets their guidelines, and then they may go to look at your privacy policy, and they may do a search in there for cookies or pixels, and if they don't find it, you may be in trouble or remarketing or retargeting. Okay, if they don't find it, you could be, that could be bad news for you. I know this is not fun stuff, but this is stuff to just make sure that you don't get in trouble later on, because believe me, that is no fun at all. The other thing I was thinking about, and I wanted to mention to you, is don't set up a bunch of ad sets at once and start running a bunch of ads in them all at one time. Get them approved first and then roll them out. So in other words, if you're going to do a lot of ads, like say you're going to run, 100 ads, don't put out all 100 ads, or all 100 ad sets, or however you're going to have it set up. Get them approved one at a time and then roll them out, because the more you get disapproved, the more that kind of goes against you. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So get them approved first and let them roll out. Remember, Facebook's just trying to not get sued. They're really pretty okay with just about anything. I mean, you would not believe the topics that I have run Facebook ads on that they are perfectly fine with. There's ads out there about sex, and there's ads about porn and just stuff like that. And I'm talking about porn recovery, not so you can watch porn, okay? But there was ads out there where you use the word sex. I'm not saying you can have sex, but it's out there. You can use that kind of terminology in those words. You just don't want to call people out having a specific disease or having a specific issue, but you can tell a story about somebody who had a specific issue and the result that they got. That's different. So remember that when you're doing your Facebook ads, you don't have to be paranoid, you don't have to be scared. Just follow the rules and it'll be just fine. All right, you know where to go to get help if you need it. You can join my closed Facebook group, Funnel Strategies for Facebook, and you can find that in the show notes, and I will be glad to answer your questions there. And otherwise, I will see you guys on episode 26.